big and warm welcome to our halftime assembly for the global goals. Today, we're going to be imagining winning, and we are bringing together two great organizations, the world's largest lesson and global social leaders. And together, we're going to be supporting you to understand where we are with the global goals and the role that you can play in supporting them and helping us get back on track. We're super excited to be here with all of you, and I can see participants coming in fast, and we've already got some that are saying hi. The chat is open. We do want you to connect with one another and with us. And to get started, I'll do the setup in a minute, but what I want you to do is introduce yourself, just with your first name or your school name. Say which country you are in the world. What time of day is it for you? It's just gone 9:15 in the UK and I'm in London. Whereabouts are you? We want to know who's here, where you are in the world. We've got people joining from Turkey. Wonderful. 11:15, Netherlands. I'm seeing it all coming up. I've also got an exciting question for you. This is very important. What is the most recent meal or breakfast? What did you have? Please do share that in the chat. I'm always interested to know what people are eating. I think eating together is super important. I ate with my family this morning and we had porridge and some melon and some coffee. So I'm feeling good and ready for the day. We've already got in the chat, please do try and reply all rather than just to the panelists so that everybody can see the chat. But I will start doing some share. We've got St. Dominic's from Belfast. Wonderful. Welcome. Breakfast here. We had bran flakes and granola. We have Strontian Primary in Scotland. I was back up in Scotland. I climbed Ben Nevis back in May and saw I think the best sunshine of the year. So it was wonderful. 9:15 a.m. in Scotland. A big sausage for breakfast. Someone else having granola. Granola is very popular today. Oh, yesterday night was the last meal for Vivian, and that was a cheese fondue. And we've got a good morning from Zimbabwe. Fantastic, big warm welcome. We've got another Vivian here who's had toast with butter. Oh, in Qatar, big warm welcome to all of you. That might be my good friends from the Swiss International School Qatar, who I visited earlier in the year. It's 11:20 for you. We've got Emily in London. Yes, hello Claire. No food yet, but coffee. Similarly, I've got my coffee here. Here's my mug, and I will be enjoying that. And we've got some guests here from Iraq and England. They ate steak fajita and pasta as their last meal. More London, more Scotland. Netherlands we've already welcomed, and our good friends from Turkey are here. So a big warm welcome. I'm just going to drop to the bottom because there's been more messages coming in, and for those that are just coming into the room, it's getting very exciting. We have just got our friends here from India who've joined, and we've got St. Mark's Primary. Someone here had shortbread for breakfast. Shortbread is a delicacy. I'm not sure it's necessarily a breakfast item, but I think it can be enjoyed any time of day. And let me just see if anyone else I've missed. I'm getting there. Doesn't and just to say, do reply all. That's what Jack's just said. To try and we'll check if that's enabled. But I am trying to share and welcome you all to the session. Right, it is 9:20. We do need to get going with our global assembly. So in terms of setup, I want you to know this webinar is being recorded, and if at times we have young people speaking, please don't take photos of the session for our safeguarding. We will be sharing the recording with those that can't join us live. And if you really enjoy this morning, we will be repeating it later today, which we're excited to do for those who are on very different time zones. So we need to introduce ourselves. I'm John, Chief Exec of Future Foundations and co-founder of Global Social Leaders. I'm now going to pass to my colleague, Trisha.
Hi, everyone. I'm Drisha. I'm the Program Manager of Global Social Leaders here at Future Foundation, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I'm going to pass it on to Jack now.
Hello, good morning. Very excited to meet you all. We're going to hear a lot from me today, so I'll pass over to Noor.
Hi everyone, what a lovely energy. My name is Noor. I am a campaigns executive with World's Largest Lesson.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Noor. And thank you, Drisha. You've got an amazing team who are going to be delivering the halftime assembly. And at the end, we're going to be sharing with you how you can get involved. So today we see as a start, an inspiration, and it's going to be interactive. We need you to hopefully have had a good breakfast or a good last meal, so you can fully contribute. And I've seen someone's had donuts, so I hope not too long ago, so that energy survives the next period. So who are we? What's Global Social Leaders? It's a movement. So I co-founded the movement with Katie Granville Chapman from the Wellington Leadership and Coaching Institute at Wellington College 10 years ago, because we believe that we need to equip and support young people to be leaders in their lives and leaders in society. We know you can have a massive contribution, and we just need to get behind you and support you with the issues you care about. So that's what we're doing. We're building that movement, doing events and training and activities like this to connect young people and educators around the world who share our vision for a sustainable, brighter future. Together we can create, I think we can create a brighter future, and I have massive hope for getting us back on track. And that's why we partner with organisations like World's Largest Lesson, who share our hopeful, positive vision for a brighter future. And today, we're co-hosting this global assembly to kind of kickstart us all to think, how can we get on track with the global goals and really make some change in the years that are left till 2030. So I'm going to pass straight over to World's Largest Lesson and the fantastic team of Jack and Noor. Jack.
Thanks so much, John. Yeah, very excited. Thank you for all sharing your breakfast items. I'm now very hungry. This is a few pictures from what World's Largest Lesson do. So basically, we're all about learning about the global goals so that children and young people could turn it into action for the global goals. So you can see a picture on the top right of some students at the United Nations telling world leaders what they think about the global goals. Basically, that's what today's session is going to be all about. So before I jump in, it's going to be quite fast paced. So I'm going to run through things really quickly. If you're joining in a classroom, feel free to have discussions in your class and take some of the things that I'm saying into your classroom, have discussions. We're going to keep it very interactive. Noor, Drisha, John, they're going to be in the chat. We're going to we've just turned the chat setting on, so you can all chat with each other, which is brilliant. So do get in the chat. We might have a chance as well for some of you to interact on the mic as well. However works for you guys in your classrooms, at home, wherever you are, please jump in, get involved and enjoy it. And just to introduce myself, so I'm Jack, I'm a teacher, I work for World's Largest Lesson. I haven't had breakfast, so now I'm feeling very hungry. Two things about me: I support West Ham Football Club and I play the trumpet. So I'm going to kick off our session today with some trumpet to kick us off. So I hope you're ready. And now all my neighbours are wondering what on earth is happening at 9:15 in our flat. Okay, so section 1. Does anyone know what this is? What's happening here on the screen? What is this a picture of? Where is it? What can you see on the sides? So you've got a long strip across the front. What is on the front there? And also, can you see what's on the big tower? And finally, does anyone know when this picture was taken? Can anyone hazard a guess? Yes, so first things first, the global goals are on a building. So you can see across the front, the beautiful global goals. They have been projected onto the side of a very important building. It's not in Switzerland. That's a very good guess. This is actually the United Nations headquarters in New York City. So that's where the United Nations headquarters is. And right, whoever said this all the countries taking part? You're absolutely right. On the tower, you can see the flags from many different countries all over the world. In fact, 193 different nations' flags are on that tower. So that is all of the countries that agreed to the global goals. And the photo is taken back in 2015. So how old were you guys in 2015? This was when the global goals were first agreed. And everyone was so excited, they projected the goals onto the side of the UN because they wanted to tell everyone and make it famous. And my organization was involved with trying to make it famous. We helped to design all of these lovely icons and colors. So that was 2015, 7 years ago. This is what the United Nations headquarters looks like right now. So these photos were taken yesterday. As you can see outside, they built a pavilion with all the different goals colors where they're holding meetings all about the goals. And then on the left, that's what it looks like inside the UN HQ. So as you can see, 7 years on, the goals are still just as important, but a lot has changed. So that's what we're going to discuss today. That's what we're going to think about. What's happening at the United Nations headquarters and how can we all get involved? So hopefully many of you will know about the global goals already. I'd love to hear in the chat if anyone can give an explanation. What are the goals? What do they mean to you? Anything you know about them, and then we can all compare and discuss. So as you can see, you've got a whole range of different issues. You've got goal 1 is about no poverty. Goal 2, zero hunger. Goal 5, an important one, gender equality. Then across the middle row, you have the goals which are about things like energy, jobs, infrastructure, communities. And then along the bottom, some really important ones: climate, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and finally, partnerships for the goals, which is what we're doing right now, coming together from different places, different countries to make the goals happen. So yeah, some brilliant responses in the chat already. The goals, they're the goals that we're trying to achieve so that we can make the world a better place. I love that. The global goals is rights that people can have, agreed targets that we must meet. The global goals are all the things to make the world better by 2030. Love all of these. They are what humankind are trying to reach by 2030. Thank you. Yes, okay, so I can see that you guys understand your global goals. This is brilliant, because today we're going to think about what's changed since 2015 when the goals were agreed. So think about how old you guys were in 2015. And as some people have said, the deadline is 2030. So that means we're halfway there. I would love to do a poll to see what you guys think about progress on the goals. So remember, all of these different goals: to end poverty, to take climate action, to build sustainable cities and communities. What do you think the score is at halftime? How do you think we're doing? How would you rate the first half? So we're going to launch a poll to you all, and I'd love to see what your opinions are. Do you think we're on track? Do you think we're off track? Or are you not sure? And have we launched the poll? Global Social Leaders team? Aha, thank you very much. Okay, the answers are coming in. I can see them moving across my screen. Off track is in the lead with more than half the choices, but on track is gaining. Okay, so some more hopeful people have come in. Oh, I think on track might be almost about to overtake. No, but off track's coming back again. Guys, we're neck and neck. It's 44% to 40% on track versus off track. And then a few people unsure. Okay, I'm gonna keep those coming in. Thank you everyone for sharing them. And I'm gonna give you some of the facts. So here's some of the good news. We have had some amazing breakthroughs in science, in medicine, More children have access to basic education than ever before. That's goal 4. More women are in leadership roles than ever before. That's goal 5, gender equality. More than 90% of the world has access to electricity. Another amazing breakthrough in the last 7 years or so. And renewable energy solutions are now becoming cheaper than fossil fuels. So some really good news on the goals. So everyone who said on track, that might be some of the reasons why you think we're on track. However, here is some bad news for those who said off track. This is why you might be thinking it. Actually, at halftime, only 15% of the global goals are currently on track. 1-5. So there's a huge amount of work to be done to get these goals done in the second half. And that's why I think we're going to need some halftime substitutions to make some change happen. We've been leaving it up to the people in power, the world leaders, for a long time. I think we need some new energy and some new ideas. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And in fact, at the UN right now, that's exactly what people are talking about. The world needs a halftime talk. So I said I'm a West Ham fan. A well-known fact in football is that every game is won in the second half. So you could go in winning 2-0 at halftime, you come out and then suddenly the opposition score 4 goals and you go home crying because you've lost 4-2. What we want to do for the global goals is turn around the score at halftime. We want to turn that 15% into a 50%, into a 90%, into 100% in the next 7 years. So we're going to need a halftime talk, and I'm going to play you a quick video to explain a little bit more about the message that we've been taking to world leaders at the United Nations.
One last thing, and I want everyone's eyes on me when I say this. Look at me.
Okay, so that's the message. That's the message. And I hope it gave you some idea of what needs to happen now. So there's a lot of work to be done, but the rest of this session is basically going to be about what can we do? You know, we are not world leaders on this call. We are not presidents. I don't think we have a president on this call. So what can we actually do? And especially what can young people do? Because many of you guys will have been very young when the goals were founded. So what can you bring into this conversation to help make the difference? So we're going to start off with focusing on one thing which I like to describe as a superpower that, above all else, young children have. So I don't know how old everyone is on this call. I don't think we have any 5-year-olds, but if we did, in this section, the 5-year-olds would be the champions. Because according to the science, the 5-year-olds are the ones we need to look to when it comes to creativity, and imagination. So before we get started on this section, first of all, we're going to look at one superpower. Feel free to get, oh, we have some super 5-year-olds from Strontian Primary School. Woo, woo. Okay, hi Strontian Primary School. You guys are the champions for this section. So I'm going to give you a little bit of the science, and then you guys are going to have a little bit of time in your classes to talk to each other, discuss, and then we'll take some of your feedback in the chat. And Nora and Drisha, I might ask for your help with that to see what everyone's saying. So let's start with the rocket science. I don't know if anyone knows NASA, the people that make rockets in America. They send people into space. They also do brain science, because if you're sending people into space, you need to know how their brains work. So they did a study of creativity. Now I'd like to ask everyone if you can guess what score 5-year-olds got on the genius scale, the creative genius scale. What percentage of 5-year-olds do you think are creative geniuses according to NASA? Trisha, Noor, are we getting any responses coming through? What are you seeing?
A lot of percentages. 79, 75, 88. Do your pick.
Someone's
Okay.
written 120%.
It's not quite 120, but it is higher than all the other ones that people have said. Okay, I'm gonna give this one away. 98%. 98% of 5-year-olds scored creative genius level. Yes, Romy, you're right. I'm seeing a lot of 98% in the chat now that I've said 98. Okay, so what about adults? So I'm 31 years old. What percentage of 31-year-olds do you think scored genius level creativity? What percentage?
Ooh, interesting. Someone's written 18%, 12,
2% is what we have.
5.
Aha! I don't know why, but somehow someone always guesses 2%. And that is exactly right. So, sorry, Drisha, sorry, John, sorry, Noor, sorry to all the teachers in the room. What they found out was, as we get older, we unlearn our creativity. We lose our creative powers. And that's because creativity is a muscle. And if you don't use it, then you'll lose it. And creativity is the power that we all have to think of doing things in new ways, to find new solutions, new ideas. So it's actually a crucial skill that we have for achieving the global goals. If we carry on doing things exactly the same way, then only 15% of the goals are going to be achieved. So we need new ideas, creativity, and imagination. So what we're going to look at now is some fun activities of how you can use those creative muscles. And the first one's called the combination game. So I asked ChatGPT to give me 2 completely random objects. And it gave me a rubber duck and an electric toothbrush. So this is going to warm up our creative muscles, guys. Can you please put in the chat or discuss in your classrooms as many ideas as you can think of, the weirder the better, of how you could combine a rubber duck and an electric toothbrush to create a brand new object with a new function. So how could you use a rubber duck in combination with an electric toothbrush? Drisha, John, Noor, any ideas to kick us off?
From ourselves or from the chat?
Well, from yourself, and then we'll have some from the chat.
You just said it yourself, it's 2% creativity. Don't get your hopes up. But I think we can have I don't know.
Drisha, John?
Well, I was thinking if we attach the toothbrush to the duck, maybe it can like float on its own, like a sort of a jet to a boat.
Oh,
Maybe.
oh, I like it.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the propeller.
Mm.
Yeah, and I'll be building on that because I know my children prefer baths to brushing teeth. So just bringing these two together, a duck meets the brush kind of combo that you could be doing the brushing teeth in the bath. Feels a bit
Aha.
weird, but it might get them brushing their teeth for longer.
Interesting. So you
Floating toothbrush.
hook them in with the
Mm.
rubber duck, and then they get their teeth brushed.
Yeah,
Nice.
and it
Nor, any good ones from the chat or from yourself? I
I'll
can
go
see the
to the
chat is
chat.
flying.
Yes, there are so many. They have swimming rubber duck by motorizing it with the toothbrush. You have a duck that is propelled in water by an electric toothbrush, so sort of similar. Rubber duck timer toothbrush. Put the top of the brush on the top of the
Aha.
and do a pirate boat. That one I really like. You can take the motor and make a motorized duck or a rubber toothbrush. Ducky brush. So many options.
Okay, this is epic, guys. I'm especially liking people that are just putting things like duck emoji in the chat, just getting into the spirit of things. So hopefully you noticed that that feels kind of different going through that process. If you're in a classroom, you probably look around and saw some smiles, some people going, or, oh, that's what it feels like when you're coming up with an idea, and it's a very valuable feeling. So hold on to that feeling whenever you can get it. But there's also some science behind it. It's not just fun. When you're thinking creatively, you use a different part of your brain to when you're doing learning about facts, or when you're doing difficult processes that take lots of concentration. So using creativity feels different. So sometimes it's good to warm up your creative brain when you want to come up with ideas. And that's what we've been doing, so that we can do an imagination exercise next, an imagination exercise. So now we're going to apply our creativity and our imagination to the goals. So Noor, Drisha, John, everyone else, I want you to just take a minute to close your eyes and imagine winning for the goals, okay? So if everyone closes their eyes, I'm going to talk you through what I want you to imagine. And it's going to take 1 minute. So close your eyes, and together we're going to imagine a world where the global goals have been achieved. So I want you to take a walk outside, look around, and imagine what you could see where you are in your community. So what does it look like when the global goals are achieved in your community? What can you see? Can you see people? What are the people doing? Are they moving around? Are they talking to each other? Are they doing things? And can you see nature around you? What can you hear? What can you smell? What's different? And also, what's the same? Okay, now I want you to zoom out from your community, and now you're looking at the country that you're in from above. So what do you think is different about that country? What makes you smile about this world that you're looking down on, that you've created in your imagination? Is there anything that's stayed the same? And then we're going to zoom out one more time. So now you're looking at your lovely little Earth from above. And again, I just want you to think about the feeling that you have for this world. Imagine if all of the dreams you had for the goals had come true, how would you feel about the world? How would you feel about the future? And as you hold that thought in your mind, you can open your eyes, come back to the room, and please feel free to share any thoughts, feelings, visions you had in the chat. And I've loved seeing some come through already. And thank you everyone who took part in that, because sometimes it can be a bit scary closing your eyes when you're surrounded by people, especially John, Nor, and Drisha, because everyone's looking at you and you closed your eyes perfectly. So, everyone is sharing some amazing stuff in the chat. I'm going to do a really quick read through of some of them. In fact, Drisha and Nor, do you want to do that? And then we'll go on to the next section.
Yeah, happy to, Jack. There are some really lovely suggestions and visions that people have put up. Someone says lots of trees and animals, no cars, everyone on bikes. That's a cool one. What makes me smile about this world is our consistent will to do better for the prosperous learning of our children. That's amazing. There are electric leaves, someone's written. I saw a flying car somewhere, which I thought was pretty cool. Blue skies, hopefulness, the sound of laughter and seagulls chirping quietly. A happy green world. Jetpacks for fun, of course.
I love it.
A quiet world, a clean world, less poverty, people getting food on a regular basis. More robots, children at the center of our world. That's a beautiful one.
Nice.
Doing everything with your mind. No pollution, agreed. And ducks.
Oh, good.
I
Let's
love
end
that.
with ducks, because
Let's end it with ducks.
I think that's the theme of our session today is ducks.
Yeah.
So guys, sometimes it can feel a little bit silly, like, oh, let's imagine a perfect world. But if you don't imagine what's possible, then you'll never be able to achieve it. And what we've learned from the science, from NASA, the better you are at imagining what this world could look like. It all starts with creativity and imagination, and then it's about working out how we get there. So now that we've talked about your imagination superpowers, let's think about what we can all do individually. So I'm going to talk about two things very quickly, and then going to give you all a chance to make a pledge of your own. And this is about you, individual, you on your own. So you watching this right now, that's you. You, Nor, you, Drisha, you, John, you students in your classrooms. So first of all, what do you love doing? What's your passion? So just like creativity is a superpower, also the things that you love doing are like superpowers too. So for example, I love West Ham Football Club and playing football. I love playing the trumpet, and I love music, and I love teaching. So those are some of my personal passions. On the screen here, we've got some others. You might be into astronomy, looking at the stars. You might be someone who loves caring for other people. You might be a joker who loves making people laugh. You might be into robotics. You might be into exploring the world. Your passion is the thing that you get energy for every day, that you love to do. And if you love to do something, then you'll be able to continue doing it over and over and over again. Okay, so how does me playing football and playing the trumpet connect to the goals? Well, that's when your purpose comes in. So what do you care about? So obviously the global goals are a big collection of different issues, and different people care about different goals. Everyone's got their own goals which they feel really connected to. So for me, I love SDG 4, quality education. I love goal 15, life on land, because I love animals and nature and forests. all of you will have your own goals that you feel most important about. Romy, thank you for sharing SDG 16. We've had a few more: good health and well-being, climate action. And again, this is all about what you personally feel most passionate about. Because if you care about an issue deeply, you'll have the motivation to take action for that issue. So now, to finish off, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to think about what's your passion, what do you love doing, and what's your purpose? What do you care about the most? And I'd love you guys to share in the chat. And then to finish off, we're going to take a pledge together. Noor, have we got anything coming through on the chat?
A lot. Gaming is leading Fortnite, and then there is a big fight on which is the best team, courtesy of you. I see a lot of Liverpool, Man City, even Bayern Munich. Some people said they like reading. This reading has been mentioned a lot. And there were some requests for you to play the trumpet again. But that's in general.
Don't worry about that. That is coming. The trumpet can be what we finish on. We open the session with it and we can close it too. Okay, thank you everyone for sharing. So now we're going to make a pledge. Okay, and this is one thing that you on your own can do. And it's going to be something you can do like as a first step. So for example, I love football and I love SDG 4 quality education. How could I possibly combine those two things? Well, I live in London. I support West Ham Football Club. So my pledge that I've just come up with today is I'm going to try and persuade West Ham Football Club to let us come and do some sessions about the global goals with some of their players and their youth team players. So number one, I'll get to meet some of my heroes. And number two, I'll get to teach them about the goals. That's my pledge that I'm going to try and do it. And the way that I'm going to start is by finding out their contact information and phoning them up, sending them emails. And Noor, you have to hold me to this, okay? So think of something you guys can do that links to what you love doing and what you care about. And what I've shared on the screen here is a tool that you can use for this. It's called the 30-Day Challenge from Global Social Leaders. And what it invites you to do is share one action that you can take every single day for 30 days. Because if you do something every day, even one small step, if you take one small step forward every day, by the end of that 30 days, you will have developed a talent and a habit that will become part of your life. So if you have devices there, you can scan that QR code, but we'll also share all of this with you afterwards so that you can access it in your classrooms. And what we'll ask you to do is share what your step is, share your pledge, why you'd like to take it, and then it will send you reminders each day and motivation to do it. And I'm going to hand over to the Global Social Leaders team now to say a little bit about how a 30-day challenge, taking one small step every day, can turn into something big for the goals. So over to you, John.
Thank you, Jack. And we as a team have always sort of looked at the 30-day challenge as the way that if you want to lead others, you first need to lead yourself. So actually making that little commitment and doing something for 30 days and seeing how hard that can be. But if you do it and just commit to something, it might be getting up early or reading a book for 10 minutes every day. That kind of commitment and helps you become a better leader of yourself. And then you're more able to then inspire and lead others. And leadership is about service and supporting others. to enable them to do things and to take small steps. And if we all take small steps, we can do great things. Jack's going to just share with us the next slide. And what can this lead to? It can lead to you organizing a team and doing a project. And on this screen are photographs of projects run by young people, by what we call global social leaders. So these are young people that have formed teams of 3 to 7 students, and they've come up with an idea for a project responding to the global goals. So they've gone beyond taking a small action to actually creating a project. And if you scan also what's on the page there, you'll be taken to a page where if you click on each goal, there's example projects. And those projects are projects that have been delivered by young people. And we've uploaded their reports and their presentations and their videos where they share what they did, what they learned, and the impact that they've had, and how they pivoted when it didn't work as well. Because change is hard. Trying to do a project is difficult, but it's immensely rewarding, and it really will help you develop the skills you'll need for the future and help you learn how do you work together with others to make change happen. And we honestly believe that you can. So we do encourage you to go and have a look and see some of the projects, which range from schools introducing campaigns around climate change, doing solar panels on their school roofs, doing green days, young people in India who actually try to tackle homelessness by having a shipping container delivered to their school. There are incredible projects on there. Some are immense, but always I think start small, think big, take one step at a time, and you'll be amazed by how far you go. And we're also here to support you. So on the next slide, we share how we support educators and schools. So schools, if you're on the call today and you're not already a member of Global Social Leaders, you can join Global Social Leaders and we'll train your teachers and your students. And we run training and activities to support you to enable your students to form teams to do projects. We also run courses online, which are global for young people. So if you'd like to attend a course, you can do that. We have an opportunity we're launching shortly, which is super exciting with Rise, which is fully funded for 15 to 17-year-olds. So if you are 15 to 17, I really encourage you to scan the image here and register your interest in that on the link there with Rise. And then we'll support you to do our Global Social Leaders course, do a project and apply to their global opportunity where they'll select 100 winners and support them to be change makers for life. So that's a big opportunity. So do encourage you to keep in touch with us, and we will be sharing an email after today to all the participants so that you know what your next steps are. And as we said, we're here to support you, and so is World's Largest Lessons. So I'm going to hand it back over to Jack.
Yeah, thanks, John. And it's the same with us. So what World's Largest Lesson does is make resources all about the goals. We give them away for free. We sometimes visit schools. We give webinars like this. And the best way you can find out about what we do is go onto our website. You can sign up to our newsletter. And you should definitely check out our brand new tool that Noor has built called Become a Factivist, which is all about diving into the data on the goals and then creating data posters to share with the world. So I'll end there and just say a big thank you to everyone for joining. We'll follow up and send you all the information, spread the word about the goals, and thank you all for sharing so many ideas and such nice energy. This has been a wonderful way to start the day for me. So thank you all.
And thank you, Jack and Noor and Drisha. It's been wonderful to collaborate and co-host this assembly today. I'm leaving inspired and super excited, and also just seeing in the chat just how excited and inspired everyone is. We do really believe that young people do have the superpowers and the creativity, and we all just need to come together to make the second half count. We'll be keeping in touch. We'll share how to get involved, but do go and visit the Global Social Leaders website and the World's Largest Lesson, and stay in touch with us, and leave today and take action. If you imagine winning and take action, I believe we truly can. We'll say a thank you, and lovely to see the thank yous coming up in the chat. And we wish you, whatever time of day it is, a wonderful rest of the day. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you again to World's Largest Lesson for co-hosting today's halftime assembly. Bye-bye.
I nearly forgot.
And that marks the end of this session. Thank you, Jack. I will now close the webinar and you can enjoy your days. Imagine winning, and there's clapping happening around the world. I've just seen that in the chat. We're loving that. So I'm going to finish with a clap. Everybody together, and those watching, big clap and a big pat on the back, because together we can. And now I will close. Thank you.